I'm just trying to look back on the day. Pretty good day so far, actually. It's been relatively relaxing. This morning, we went down to our spiritual center for our Sunday service, which is on the basics of science of mind or new thoughts, if you like. So January always starts fresh, so it's always good. And you can actually tune into those services. You can get the recording afterwards on either Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page or on the YouTube page. YouTube comes a little bit later because my colleague, Reverend Lisa, has got to upload them. And of course, it depends what her schedule is until she gets it up. But for sure, tomorrow it'll be on YouTube. But definitely, it's already on Facebook. You can look in there. And the advantage of Facebook is you can see a few more things on there than you can on YouTube. Anyway, today's reading is about forgiveness. And the quote I picked is one which is, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek for ministers to say this, but it's something that is hard for anybody in a position of leadership to live up to. It says, you can preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips. You can preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips. And that was Oliver Goldsmith. So as I said, it's anybody in leadership, be careful what you say, because you should live up to what you say. And I like today's reading because I think forgiveness is so important. It's not only important for the people whom we forgive, it's important for ourselves too, right? And by the way, in Emerson's essays, just like in Holmes' work, most of what he refers to when he's talking about people is the male pronoun. So I typically just make it gender non-specific. So whether it's Emerson, Holmes, whoever, or even if somebody writes in the female gender, I'm an inclusivist. I just think that we're all human beings, and I don't see how you can differentiate between people based on the color of their skin, their racial origins, their views in life. They're all human beings, so whatever religion they are, as I said, I'm an inclusivist. So just remember that. He says, every person is a divinity in disguise, a god playing the fool. That's Emerson's essays. It's actually on page 23. And Ernest Holmes says, for selfish reasons alone, if for no loftier reason, we cannot afford to find fault, to hate, or even hold in mind anything against any living soul. Why? Because it hurts us as much as it hurts them. Sometimes more so. And the other odd thing about it is when people hold resentments, most of the time the person involved on the other side of the hatred or the resentment doesn't even know that it's going on. So really and truly, it's psychologically, physically, spiritually, not mentally, not everything, not a good thing to do. So, okay. So one of the most important spiritual practices we can become experts in is forgiveness, says Reverend Margaret. Jesus knew this importance when he said that we should forgive 70 times 7, which implies continual forgiveness, in effect, holding nothing bitter in mind about what anyone may do, no matter how often they may behave so. This doesn't mean that we put ourselves in harm's way if others continue to behave badly. Rather, it means that we do not bind ourselves to them by holding hard feelings about them because of what they do. And the other important thing to remember here is that, as I said, the only person that, the main person that we harm when we hold resentments is actually, it's ourselves, But having said that, there's an important caveat here, which I don't think Reverend Margaret mentions it now. The caveat is this: we still hold people responsible for their actions. We still hold people responsible for their actions, but we forgive them. And the person that we often forget to forgive most is, guess who? It's ourselves. Forgiveness is a mode of freedom, she says. In mind, if we free others from the effects of our thinking through forgiveness, they may go about their business in life, and so may we. We don't have to stay in their atmosphere through any kind of self-neglect or self-imposed bondage. If forgiveness is indeed freedom, then freedom brings the elimination of lashing ourselves to someone who is intent on harmful behaviors. She says to forgive and forget is misleading. It means that if we practice forgiveness, we will suddenly develop amnesia, and that's just not likely to happen. Remembrance of a past deed may still remain, but it will no longer contain the bite of unforgiveness. She says, release through forgiveness allows us to go forth in the divine flow without past remembrances clinging to us. In this is real freedom. So the important thing is this: let go. Let go of anything that is binding you to the past, whether it's resentments or whatever it is. If it's not doing you any good now, let it go. And as I said, although it's not mentioned here specifically, we need to forgive ourselves. And just like I said, we hold others accountable, we hold ourselves accountable. If we've done something and hurt someone, then we do need to make amends in some way, shape, or form. But we let go of the past. No matter how many times we do it, we still let go of the past. We let it go. Let go, let God, forgive. So there you are. And this is probably one of the really major fundamental spiritual messages is forgiveness. Forgiveness of others and forgiveness of self. And the one I said we often forget is forgiveness of self. I mean, I've got relatives who they've been separated for years. There've been a couple of comebacks, but they've held resentments against each other for a long time, and especially one of them has held resentments against another member of the family for a long time, and it's not helping anyone. It's not helping the person holding the resentment or the other person. So in my prayer life, I do pray for reconciliation for this particular family group. And you can do the same. You can actually do the same. So there you are. That's Reverend Margaret's message for today. It's my message for today is forgive, let go, let it be. And if you have to make atonement, then make atonement, but forgive. As always, she says, the divine good fulfills me, always has, always will, and I access it every day. In other words, I use my prayers every day. I access my relationship with the one source every day. I've forgiven and released anything and anyone that has created harm, including myself. I forgive anything and anyone that has ever created harm, including myself. And she says, now I accept true freedom. Hey, what more can you do? My colleague, Reverend Lisa, will be on tomorrow about 9:15 a.m. Yeah, yesterday she had a problem during the day, and she came on when I would normally get on. But the good news was I was somewhere where I wasn't in a position to get on at that time. So she used the time wisely. And now she was back to her regular time this morning, 9:15, and she will be tomorrow. Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page. And another plug for my class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Who wouldn't want to do that? So text me 832 832-271-0717, 832-271-0717 if you want more details about this class, which actually starts on Tuesday evening at 6:30. So until next time, I'm just knowing a wonderful rest of the day for everyone, including myself. I release this prayer into the divine law of calling it done, and so it is. And until next time, namaste.